Okay, so here we go. We're live, and it's still 3 hours to go for this cricket match between India and Pakistan. I was about to say cricket match and literally stumbled because it's far more than a cricket match. There is so much. I mean, we can all feel the tension, we can all feel the heat, we can all feel the anxiety, we can all feel everything. I mean, each one of us, in my case, I've been covering this sport for close to 30 years. Gargi's been doing it for the last 4-5 years. Ashok's been doing it for the last 20 odd years, 25 years, been involved with sports administration and running sports coverage, broadcast. We haven't any one of us have experienced something like this. We will talk about, as part of this show, the heightened security arrangements, including what happened with our driver. Now, that's a first. That's an absolute first. We've never happened with us that, and they said that police aake aap logo ko inko bahar nikal sakta hai. So we will tell you all of that. We will also give you an update on the ticket build-up. We will give you an update on all of these things. But first, comments. First, let me go to you, Gargi. This is quite a strange one, very strange one, in terms of the build-up, in terms of everything else. And I'll go to Ashok. Yes, Gargi.
It is strange, the tensions are quite high. There is a lot of anger here as well, and we understand. It's understandably so. There are calls for a boycott of this match from people back in India, and again, understandably so. Anyone that feels like they can take part, or it's their act of protest, then they should absolutely boycott the match if that's what they think. But at the same time, you're seeing this, a lot of hate being directed towards the Indian team, towards the players, towards the staff, the management, and that is something that is unnecessary. Like, you and me are doing our job. The players are also working under the directives of the government, of the BCCI. They have a job to do. They are working within that framework that the government of India has set. So they have to go out there and do their job. They are professionals after all. Yes, they are celebrities and all of that, but at the end of the day, cricket is their profession, it's their job, and they have a job to do today as well. They have to go out there and perform well. And, to give Pakistan a befitting reply, we were talking about this yesterday as well. They can't go out there and fight at the borders, but what they can do is give a befitting reply with the bat and ball. That's the only way that they can do it.
Ashok, your first comments about this, what do I call it? A cricket game with a difference.
Yeah, I think, cricket is not just sport. It has now become a proxy stage for geopolitical identity and collective emotion, and rightfully so. So we're not getting into the debate in terms of, the boycott or not to boycott, etc. Obviously, emotions are running high, and obviously the administration is going to take the necessary steps to ensure security for the players, for the fans, and that's critical. Now, it's a tricky thing because if you do a lot more of it, then the experience that the fans get to have is going to be dampened a little bit. If you do too little, then you are risking, lives in a way, and therefore, how do you strike the right balance? It's not an easy job, even for the security protocol people. Having said that, I think, the notifications that have been put out in terms of what is allowed, what is not allowed, the punitive measures that are being talked about are stringent, in line with the local administration. Nothing new about that. They do their best to ensure safety, all-round safety. And, fans will need to take that responsibility to ensure that they adhere to the guidelines that have been laid out. It is unprecedented, but that is how things are right now.
Let me actually make some strong points on this particular show. And let's be very blunt. The decision is, if anybody has taken this decision, it is the government of India. You have an issue, you please put it on the government of India. I've got no problems with boycott. I've got no problems with anyone not wanting to watch the match. It's your call. But if you want to blame someone, absolutely do not blame the players. The players are doing a job, as Gargi said. Go blame the government of India. It's the government of India that has taken a call. It's as simple as this. Suppose I tell Gargi at this point in time, Gargi, why don't you go and do the badminton story and leave this to someone else? Now, as her editor, she will perhaps listen to me and go do the badminton story. Because that's how it is. If I say to the rest of the people here that, look, as the editor of this channel, this is what I want you guys to do. It's my prerogative. Exactly that. The BCCI is listening to the government of India. The directive has been set up by the government of India. The BCCI is following that particular directive, and the players are following the directive of the BCCI. So don't blame the players. Don't go and put it on their Instagram handle, Gaddar and shame and this and that. It is all unfounded and completely nonsensical. We will take as many, by the way, Meenakshi has won gold. Unprecedented result in boxing with Jasmine Lamboria gold, Meenakshi gold. So superb result from the boxing arena, 4-1 for Meenakshi. We will get you a Jasmine Lamboria interview as well. It is not as if we will only focus on cricket. We've never done that. All sport. Lakshya Sen lost 2 games to Li Shifeng of China. So both finals today, Satvik Chirag and Lakshya Sen, India lost to China there. But coming back to this particular show, excuse me, the point that I want to make, and I want to make very clear, somebody's asked me about Arnab Goswami and his rant against former players. I've never taken Arnab Goswami seriously. I would suggest you shouldn't either. My protest is against the government and BCCI, not the 11 players. Fair point.
Yeah.
Protest
fair
against
enough.
the government if you think this policy is wrong. It is a democracy. India is a democracy. All of us have the right to protest and say things that we don't agree with or believe in. In our case, I understand India's global positioning. I understand the point where the government of India is coming from. I support the stand of the government. But you, edge and swing, you are at liberty to disagree with the government and protest. Do not protest against the players because the players are not even responsible. Gargi, your thoughts on that before I take comments from Ashok?
No, absolutely. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of hate that is directed towards the players. Now, I'm going on social media and I'm trying to stay away a little bit because anyone that is involved with this match is getting a lot of hate for covering the match, for playing the match, for being a part of the entire thing. And it's unnecessary. Look, none of us are here or are want to participate or engage with Pakistan in any sort of way. But it is the directive of the government. The government has laid out a clear policy that we're going to play, when it comes to global tournaments, we are going to play Pakistan. Now, if the government has said that, they are the ones who call the shots. How can we say that, okay, we're not going, no, we won't go out there?
There is logic in what the government of India is saying. I've explained this 1 million times and here's 1,000,001. The government of India has decided this stand for multi-nation events, not bilaterals. And according to this stand, it's okay. According to this stand, what is the government of India trying to say? The government of India is making it clear that India has certain political ambitions, geopolitical ambitions, global positioning ambitions for sport. Hosting the Olympic Games, hosting the Commonwealth Games. Now you might say, I don't agree with India hosting the Olympic Games. That's your problem. That is your problem. The government of India has decided that India will put in a bid and India is working towards that. India is one of the countries that has already put in a bid for the Commonwealth Games in 2030. The government knows that by boycott, it will play into Pakistan's hands. Now, suppose we boycott. Let's do rationally. We boycott this game. Will you boycott the final? If Pakistan plays the final, will you boycott it again? Will you boycott next Sunday? The Super Force? You will, right? Because it's logical. Will you boycott the women's game on the 6th of October? Boycott it because you've boycotted men. Will you boycott the World Athletics because a Pakistani is there in Arshad? Boycott it because you've boycotted cricket, so why not athletics? Will you boycott boxing? Will you boycott the home World Cup on Indian soil next year? Where is this boycott going to end? Can you tell me? Where will this boycott end? Rather, use the sporting field to protest something that we've been talking about all through. Make your point there. Voice your point there. No camaraderie, no hugging each other and all of that we see at the end of the game spirit. You don't need to show that. Make the point in front of the global world. 1968 Mexico, that is the best example. How many of you remember that Black Power salute? How many of you remember Muhammad Ali? How many of you remember J.C. Owens? All of us do. All, as long as sport survives, we will remember these stories. Why not something like that? How many of you have forgotten that the Indians after Pulwama wore the cap when they went out to play cricket? Mahendra Singh Dhoni wearing that army insignia in his gloves, using that army insignia in his gloves. So we have seen such examples. Do not blame the players. Ashok, over to you.
Yeah, I want to bring in, the human angle. Last night, we were at the practice sessions at the ICC Academy, and the players were practicing ahead of the match for about 4.5 hours. I must say that, we had earlier reported about the bonhomie that is there amongst the players and the kind of enthusiasm that they were displaying. But I also thought that when they were leaving the academy, they were interacting with some of us, and I thought that in spite of the immense pressure that was there on them, I think they were really handling it extremely well. And it goes back to the point that we made in the show yesterday, which is that, coming off that press conference that assistant coach Ryan actually spoke about, the team management seems to have done a fair bit of thinking in terms of what the approach is going to be, how are they going to handle it, the briefing to the players, and how they're going to conduct themselves. So to project a tirade onto the players under these difficult circumstances is actually going to hurt the cause, not going to benefit anyone. And they're completely, their focus has to be on the cricket. We all know that it is a pressure cooker situation. Even the smallest of mistakes can cost them in a significant way, and therefore critical for them to do what they are here to do. I completely agree that, boycott is one way to look at it. The other way is be heard. If I were to kind of rephrase it and say, what can you do or what can you say to be heard and use the platform to do that in a symbolic way, I think that could be very, very powerful.
All our journalist colleagues have also started to trickle in. But Gargi, I don't know how much I should reveal as to what the team plans are. Maybe I will give some details away today. But if you were to, and I asked you this question, you and Ashok, that in our platform we are very democratic and we discuss things between ourselves. And I asked you that as a person, what would be your stand? And you said you're a sports journalist, you're doing your job. Can you elaborate as a young person when you look at this game? There is this boycott trend. There is this thing about why play Pakistan. If you, instead of me, I've taken this call, the onus is mine. But if you were in my position and had to take this call, would you do? And feel free, because we are a democratic, eclectic platform. We do healthy debates. Would you have done something different? Would you have done something else? Your thoughts on this?
Look, the idea in my head is simple, and the ideology in my head is simple, is the fact that we as a company cover every single sport. We try to be there on ground for every single, be it tournament, be it boxing, be it wrestling. We try to be there for every single one. When it comes to cricket, I think we've covered, since the inception of the company, you've covered almost every single tournament that India has played. Now, as what we do, it is regular. It is something that we do every single time. Like any other tournament, we are here, and this is our job to do. It's as simple as that.
But people will say that this is a different tournament. Yeah. Why did you not choose? So we are asking questions of ourselves also. Why did you not choose to boycott this one? If that is a question that's posed to you or to Ashok, I have my answer. I will give my answer. But if that question is posed to you, that yes, we understand you as Rev Sports go and cover everything, but why not make an exception and boycott this one? What would be your answer to that?
Who does that help? Is all I'm saying. In fact, I think it's a way of giving in to Pakistan. At this point, what is our way of giving a reply to Pakistan? What is the team's way of giving a reply to Pakistan? We can't go out there and fight for our nation on the borders. That's not something we are capable of. So we will do it in the ways that we can. So for us, it will be about talking about India's achievements. For the team, it will be about giving a befitting reply on the field and doing their job well, winning by a huge margin. That's all we can do. So I mean, boycotting the match or the tournament is not helping India with anything.
Okay, Ashok, before I come to you, many questions. There is this, from here I come is the handle. People talking about army sentiment. I am an army brat. I feel, and people around me who are related to the army feel, play them and make them feel hell out there. Not in cricket only, everywhere. Yes. That's here I come. Ajoy Bishash, Abhishek will deliver a 30-40 ball 100 today. I live in Kolkata. If that happens, Boriada will have to meet me in Kolkata. Anshu Mishra, why did BCCI agree India and Pak in same group? That we are forced to play against them, Boria, Dalal, etc., etc. By the way, I'll read everything. I mean, I'll take every question. Imagine this, you are calling me a Dalal, you are calling me names, you are calling me all of this. You don't even know me. You're just calling because you have been given on social media this power to write whatever. Am I calling you names back? I'm not. Am I questioning your parentage? I'm not. I can easily question your parentage as well and, hurl a couple of words of abuse. But that goes against my bringing up, my upbringing, my education. So my humble request is refrain. refrain from calling her names, calling me names, and calling Ashok names. We are doing what is our calling. Uh, there are many more questions. Shubman Gill, is he injured or not? Yesterday he got hit once on the hand, but as far as we know, even when he left, we had a brief chat, remember? He looked absolutely fine. There is zero injury concerns as far as Shubman Gill. Ashok, your points before I take further questions.
I think there are two perspectives really, and we have spoken about this a lot. But let me just sum it up, so that it's very clear. One, in terms of boycott, what are we missing out? Yesterday I said we are missing the woods for the trees. The point is that you boycott this one match, but there are tournaments after this. There is, investment that the country is making, the nation is making in acquiring future sports properties. And it's a no-brainer that when the country gets the rights to host some of these tournaments, there is going to be all-round development. There is going to be employment. There is going to be infrastructure development, and the economy actually grows. Are we going to miss out on all that? Second, why single out only this particular match? What about other disciplines of sport? What about other tournaments where the two countries are clashing? Are we going to boycott that also? So that's where you need to step back and say what's going to be our coherent, cogent policy on this. And if there is a policy, then let's adhere to that. Now, you may have a different point of view in terms of your personal point of view. You may say, I want to watch this, or you may not want to watch this. Nobody is forcing you to do that. The players are out there to play. The security is doing their job to ensure that everything goes off seamlessly. And we are here to report about the game. And the second perspective is that on the ground, it's a stage that is watched by millions, not just in the subcontinent, but across the world. And if you can let your bat or the ball do the talking, then why would you let go of this opportunity? So how do you then leverage that platform that you've got to make your point and make it in a telling manner is really the opportunity. And let's hope that we'll see that today.
Let's take questions. Gargi, I'll give you the first one to take. Want India to win, but if God forbid India loses tonight, what will happen? Can you imagine the backlash?
Absolutely. We've said this multiple times leading up to the match that unfortunately, this is a game that India cannot afford to lose. They just can't lose this match because I'm sure the players are also aware of this fact, the stakes involved, and the fact that if Pakistan wins tonight, it will be somewhat, morally very damaging to the country. It will be very damaging, and it's something that the public will not like to see, especially given the entire context of it. So this is, the pressure is on, and I can't imagine what the dressing room is like at the moment. We see them around. There is some tension in the air in every single practice sessions that we've been to, but the pressure is, I think, tenfold in this game.
A lot of people have asked about the groupings and said that, yes, we understand, Siddharth, for example, boycott is no solution, but why same group? Siddharth, listen, once you've agreed to play a tournament, which is the ACC or the ICC, suppose it's the ICC World Cup, after that, the grouping is you cannot go and dictate terms and say, oh, you know what, I want this group, I want this group. Now you will say, but in cricket we control. What will you do in other sports? What will you do in hockey? What will you do in any other sport? For example, Junior World Cup is Indian soil. It's in Chennai. India and Pakistan are also in the same group. Now, you cannot just say, I will control international sport and I will say I will only play provided I'm in the same group or not in the same group. The moment you do that, that is kind of putting certain conditions which are not part of the host city contract, which are not part of the contract that you sign as a playing country. So you cannot just do that. That it's not based on your whims and fancies. You've agreed to playing, you will abide by the rules which are also being followed by every other country, not just India or for that matter Pakistan. So it's not that easy or that simple that you say, Arey, why are you not making this group? And frankly, a lot of people are saying BCCI and money and all of this. Tell me, how much money does BCCI make from the Asia Cup? Zilch. In the larger schema, IPL contributes to 90% of the BCCI's earnings. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the BCCI if the Asia Cup contributes or not. So anyone who says is the BCCI doing it for money? No, they're not doing it for money. Tell me, why are they doing it for the Women's World Cup? How much money will the Women's World Cup make where India and Pakistan are in the same group? How many people will watch India versus Pakistan in Colombo on the 6th of October? Maybe a couple of thousand people. How much money will you make from that game? TRP wise, nothing. So it's not about money, and I hope you guys understand this point very, very clearly. Ashok, your thoughts on these points. I mean, and I'll give you another question. Somebody's asked, Arvind, without Kohli, do you think Pakistan will have a fair chance? Because the man is not there. He's always starred.
No doubt about the fact that Kohli's always starred, and I mean, no doubt also the fact that he brings in an edge, that it goes beyond just the talent that he has. There is a psychological edge that he brings to the table, no doubt about that. Having said that, I think the team composition that we have seen, the thinking that's gone behind it, in terms of the number one, number two, number three batsmen, then the strategy in terms of having flexibility built into it, in terms of a set of three or four people who can bat anywhere down the batting order. India bats deep, mind you, up to number 8. So that's a strength that you can never really undermine. Uh, Come to the spin department. I think there's a lot of thinking that's gone into that as well. It's an all-round young team. It's a team in transition, but I don't think that the team is in any way inferior to what is required at this point of time. I think I have no doubt in my mind that what we have seen of this team, uh, India are clear favorites to win.
Gargi, this is a question that a lot of people are asking about handshake. Do you reckon that they will not want to shake hands with Fahim Ashraf? Right question. Fahim Ashraf has made some absolutely ridiculously banal and disgustingly disparaging comments. So would you want to stay off that and make a telling statement there even after the game? Your stand on that?
Absolutely, refuse the handshake. I've said this multiple times now that any sort of little acts of protest that you can do out on the field today, do it. You spoke about wearing a black armband, and it will be very telling about why they're wearing it. But at the same time, if we talk about the handshake, I would be keen to see. I'm very keen to see what the Indian team is going to do, because if I was in a position where I could dictate what's going to happen, I would say that refuse the handshake.
Anurag Malpani, Arnab Goswami is bashing ex-cricketer, ex-army, etc. Simple question for Arnab. Who took the call? Yesterday, Ryan Tendesh-Carter made it very clear it was the government that has taken the call. The BCCI is following the directive of the government. And I think Arnab is only talking men's cricket because he knows he will get his numbers there. He will not talk about women's cricket. I don't think he follows. He will not talk about any other sport because that's not where the TRPs are or the numbers are. If there is anybody who has taken this call, it's the government of India. So Arnab, using his position as a leading television personality, if he wants to question, he should question the government of India and not ex-cricketers. He's naming multiple ex-cricketers is what I've been told. I don't watch Arnab. He's named multiple ex-cricketers. They're not even involved. So by naming them, where do you get except wanting to sensationalize and get some numbers? Last few minutes on the show. Ashok, I'll give you one and I'll give Gargi, and we will be back in what, 1 hour?
Yeah.
We will be back around 6:30 for our build-up show. We just need to go to the... What happened?
Sea of blue.
Yeah, Sea of Blue. Actually, a lot of Indian fans, one can see, they've already started to trickle in. I do expect the stadium to be full. There's quite a bit of crowd already ascending, and it's still 2.5 hours to go for the game. We will be back at about 5 o'clock local, which is 6:30 India, for our build-up show. But before that, let me give Gargi one and Ashok one. What should I do? I'm in dilemma. Please tell, watch or boycott?
That's a question to you, actually.
That's for you to decide.
Yeah.
Hello guys, loving your analysis. Do you think there is any chance that we lose the match today? Best wishes.
Sport is always unpredictable, and that's the beauty of the sport. I think we are not fortune tellers, we are not soothsayers. We really don't know what is going to happen in terms of the outcome of the game. What we can comment on is the preparation that has gone into the game, the conditions that exist, what the teams need to do, and that's what we've been covering all the while. But at the end of the day, I mean, going back to an old adage, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and anything can happen. And I think therein lies the charm of the showdown today, because one, the overall situation, there is a lot of pressure. Two, the players actually lose the game not if they make an error on the ground. They lose it when they make an error in their mind, in terms of not retaining their composure and their balance. And
बहुत गर्म हो गया.
Okay, so quickly we are back on the show. The phone that we were using, that unit just crashed because of the heat. That unit just crashed, and here's Gargi's unit. She's just sort of getting it back. It's that hot. So it's that bad out here. It's 43, 44 degrees. So I needed to come back and tell you that we are finishing the show because of this. So we are closing the show now. We will be back in an hour. Will your phone be okay by then?
Yeah, I should just, I think.
Just switch on the car AC?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just go there and do that. And we will be back in an hour. We will exactly come back in an hour and resume our pre-match build-up. Now, 2 points I want to make. There's one Vivek Banerjee who spammed about 100 times saying, don't justify your actions. Vivek, I don't justify my actions. I act. And I act because I want to. I don't justify it to anybody, not even to, because it's my conviction. I maybe to my parents at one point and to my wife and my daughter, and no one else in the world matters to me. I only act if my conscience allows me to. And to you or to anybody, who are you, for God's sake? You are nobody. For me, you don't even exist. I do work for my intellectual satisfaction. I don't justify my actions to anyone. Someone has said, what about tickets? The crowd that I'm seeing, and I'll show you from where the crowd is coming from, that side is where the crowd is coming from. And there's a huge build up there. I think it will be a packed house. All tickets except a couple of hospitality are sold out. So we will end the show here. In an hour, we will come back with plenty more updates and build up to the game. As I said, our phone crashed because of the heat. It's very hot, 43, 44 degrees. So thank you very much for watching and joining us. We will be back in an hour.